Just one moment. Yes.
Hello and welcome to my channel, Mary Bourne, ND, Gardening with Granny. Thank you for being here today. We're going to do a little sip and chat. We're going to talk about what we've accomplished a little bit. You saw some videos about that. And we're going to see what's happening next. And there's a lot happening next. So it's been a hot and busy summer. I don't remember ever having such hot temperatures. And I don't do hot temperatures very well. So it was, amongst other situations, difficult to get into the garden and work. Those of you who have been with me for a while, thank you very much. Know that I have been diagnosed with congestive heart failure and AFib and a couple of other things that I'm working with. I'm working with a cardiologist and a nutritionally based doctor who is helping me, even though I'm nutritionally trained doctor. That ND is a naturopathic doctor, and I am proficient in a lot of different ways of using herbs and nutrition and food basically to support the body. And most of what I do is just what old-time doctors used to do and common sense. And a lot of you can do the same thing. It takes a little study. It takes a little bit of practice, confidence to know that what you're doing works. It's worked for hundreds of years. Why wouldn't it work for you? So anyway, this nutrition doctor is also an MD, and so she's called a functional doctor. And she's been working with me by taking blood tests and determining where I was deficient, and helping me with getting my body healthier, based on my blood results, which I don't do as a traditional doctor. I don't base things on blood tests. I base them on other like physical symptoms, characteristics, what you're eating, what you're not. So anyway, to say all that, what's coming up in this end of this year and the beginning of next? Well, my granddaughter's getting married a week from today. Oh my word. And I'm very excited about that. In July, I wasn't sure how I would feel or how this was going to present itself as far as my health. I was visiting my garden in a wheelie chair type thing where I'd get down to the green beans and have to sit down while I picked them. But I did what I could, and I feel when August came along and Every Bit Challenge presented itself, I said I can do a little bit every day. And although maybe there wasn't a day that I could do it, but then I caught up on the next day. So I filled my pantry with seasonings and dried herbs and wonderful jellies. This is grape jelly that I made from my own grapes that I picked, washed, cooked, and let sit in the refrigerator straining for a week before I had the energy to actually make the jelly. Now, this is a odd jelly because it's the Pomonas, and normally I do the Sure-Jell, and the Sure-Jell, I think it was 5 cups of sugar. Well, my nutritional doctor, even if you're just eating a teaspoonful on a piece of toast, that's a lot of sugar. So this, I can make 4 cups with 1 cup of sugar. I thought I would still try the sugar instead of doing honey, but you can do honey as well. And actually, you can do no sugar at all. But the sugar does add volume, and I wanted 4 cups. So I had 4 cups of my own grape juice and then 1 cup of sugar, and it made 4 of these lovely 1 cup jars. So you saw me do potatoes. I'm grateful to my husband for helping me in so many ways. We trimmed bushes. The we variegated willow was really weeping and getting too big. It can grow 2 feet in no time. And to keep it shaped, we use an electric trimmer. But the way the willow works, it's so limp that it comes up and it actually shreds some of the bend limbs. They're not really limbs, they're just little teeny things. Maybe big, no bigger than my finger. So it feels funny calling it a limb, but I guess it is a limb. Anyway, branches. And we got that trimmed up. So it looks good as far as trimming goes, but there's brown bits every once in a while because of the trimmer shredding it. So also along the way, I was supposed to be wearing some kind of a monitor because the last 2 times they went to check my AFib, there was no AFib. I believe what I've been doing has fixed the AFib. Cardiologist isn't sure, so he wants me to wear a monitor. I wasn't going to do that before the wedding. It was from here, started at here and went down to here. It didn't work. When I pushed on it, it wouldn't register. So I'm done with it. I will accommodate him again after the wedding. I will try again, but probably use a different type of monitor because as hard as I pushed, I couldn't register something on this monitor. And if I was like feeling funny or dizzy or whatever, I was supposed to push on the monitor and let it register that I was feeling something. So that's that. So I guess that's coming up next. In January of this year, I went to have my teeth cleaned, and the dentist said, underneath all your crowns, there's decay. And he recommended that I have all my teeth removed and a device put in that, I don't know what they call it. but they would be semi-permanent, to the point where once a year, I'd have to go and have them cleaned, and they would not be cleaned by me. I mean, I could brush my teeth, but they're just implants, you know. So there's that. So fun things to look forward to, right? You know, when you turn 80, it's like, oh my God, my body's falling apart. A lot of people feel that way at 40, but it hit me at 80. And I think a lot of it was contributing to the fact that I had COVID, and COVID was a manufactured virus, and my body said, what the heck is that? Whereas other viruses like colds and flu and stuff like that, he goes, oh, I know what you're doing here. So anyway, um, yeah. And I ended up in the hospital. And if you want to get well, hospital's not the place to be. They don't serve you healthy food. They give you a lot of junk stuff and injections, and they're constantly taking your blood and causing stress and trauma. And there's no sleeping solidly because you're not in your own bed, you know. Anyway, we had a great harvest season. I feel like I was up to the task for doing the Every Bit Counts challenge. We harvested onions. I've never had such a wonderful onion harvest as I had this year. It was the best. I had onions like that. I still have onions. We got 7 pounds of potatoes, which for two people, we've already had 3 dinners, and there's still half of it left. So I mean, they weren't baking size, and we don't even eat an entire baked potato. We cut it in half, and so we each eat maybe a half a baked potato. So there was that. We had a wonderful trip, went and visited a little village homestead with Renee and John, and that was a lot of fun. Went off my diet and had pizza. Uh, this doctor has me on no grains, no dairy, no sugar, no legumes. Well, I lost 25 pounds, which I'm okay with, you know. But as I started losing more, I realized I had no energy. So I've added back some rice, a little bit of wheat mixed with almond. I made homemade bread, and I made it with 1/3 almond flour and 2/3 bread flour. So I've added back a little bit, and I feel like I've got some good energy to do things. I still cannot get out and weed like I'd like to. I have started to trim my peonies, and they look a lot better. So my goal is to finish doing that. We have October, I think, 15th is our scheduled or anticipated first frost date. So the weather has still been during the day in the 80s, and at nighttime it can drop down to 56 or something like that. So the mornings have been wonderfully cool, and then by the time afternoon comes along, pretty much done doing anything outside. So we've got a load of wood. We like to burn fires in the winter time, sometime for a little bit of heat, but mostly for the ambiance and watching TV, and it's part of the coziness of winter. So we've got some things to do. We've got the holidays coming. If you've been in any store, it can range from any Costco. It can range from Halloween to Christmas. They had Christmas wrapping paper, Halloween costumes, and candy and all that stuff. So, in giving up caffeine, which I haven't had well, since I read the book Restart Your Heart, and I think that was 3 months ago when I was diagnosed with AFib. So it's been a journey so far, this 2023. And I appreciate you coming along, being there with me. I don't do a lot of visual me doing stuff, but I show what results. I love to show my garden walks. And coming up, I have plans to make a video of how I'm going to propagate caladium, because caladiums are very expensive. And now that I know I have places where the caladium will grow, I'd like to start some. This will be my 4th year in propagating geraniums. Got a sip and chat here. So I'll be doing that. I'll take you along with that. Getting ready for the holidays, doing little bits in that. So I hope you come along with me if you haven't subscribed and some of this is interesting to you to find out what an old granny does for entertainment or decorating or cooking. I hope that you join my channel and tell others about it. And I appreciate every one of you being here. And it's lovely to look forward to the future when you're 81. So that's it for now. This is Mary Bourne, ND, for the health of it.